Thank you so much. Okay, well, welcome to Thursday, March 3rd, our policy committee meeting. And welcome Jason Crane, who's the Director of Special Ed, who's here with us as well. And we just have one policy today for our first reading. And again, it is Policy 110, Duluth Public Schools website accessibility policy. It's a mandatory policy. And if you look on the second page, we just adopted it in 2018. So it's a fairly new policy. And so it's mandatory that we review it each year. So that's what we're doing. Anthony, did you have any comments?
No, I did not at this point in time.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about
Yeah.
it if you
Thank you.
So I was one of several people that reviewed it. One of my bosses, Anthony, says make sure that you can attend school board meetings and address questions as the needs arise. And this is an important policy. And even Katie Kaufman over the years helped work. She partnered with a outside agency to kind of help us guide us through this process. And the number one thing with this policy is that we're addressing any of the needs that our community has related to any part of our website, our communication efforts, making sure that it's accessible to all. And within this policy, you'll notice that it has several spots where people can submit their input or questions or concerns. And that type of is what's happened in the last few years in updating our policy. So I commend Katie Kaufman. Adele has reviewed this as well, our communication officer now. Adele is vital to our ongoing efforts to make our website accessible and more effective and efficient for the community. But I like the way it's written now, and this needs to be reviewed often. So it's just a standard policy. I compared it against Minneapolis, St. Paul, Osseo, several of the largest surrounding districts in the metro area. They have very similar policies with the exact language that we have in ours.
Thank you. And Jason is correct. Adele is on top of it, trying to make sure that we have our website and all of our pages consistent and formatted very similarly and meets the guidelines that have been detailed here. So she's been really working hard to address those issues and make sure that we're in compliance.
So is there any changes in the policy, or are we just making an update to our website and some other changes? Or does this policy reference those changes?
No major policies because Katie Kaufman's efforts were already in alignment with what we need to have, but we will update the dates and things like that to say that we review the policy.
So the answer to your question is there are no changes. This is just an annual review of the policy.
No changes in the policy, but we are making changes to keep up with the needs on our website.
That is correct.
Yep. We've had several positions changed that receive those communications, so we're just making sure everything works well. That's a part of this policy.
Is there any, all of our policies have a purpose, a general statement. In this case, website accessibility, concerns, complaints, and grievances. So what people can do in that case. Is there any kind of these areas that you would want to say anything else, speak on, or?
Not at this time, no. I think we're in alignment with what most larger school districts are doing,
Okay.
and we're ahead of the game.
Excellent. Thank you for all of your past work on this. Board members, do you have any other questions on it?
I don't think so. In section 3, it says with regard to the Duluth Public Schools website and any official Duluth Public Schools web presence. Would that include any like social medias and that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
And does that brings up a question. So how about school-specific websites? Who reviews those?
That's a great question, and
It is Adele, but she also works with, each building has someone who's designated to support that. Sometimes it's the administrative assistant, sometimes it's other individuals who support the upkeep of the website. But she's the one who's coordinating that in her new role. Last year used to be Katie Kaufman, who used to coordinate those.
So I can give you an example from the special ed department. My executive secretary has a portion of our website, but also I have a person named Shiloh Morlag, who is a technical assistant in my department. So I have a couple people that help manage and navigate all the different resources that we have on our webpage, overseen by Adele.
Good. Any other questions, comments?
I guess I'm just curious what third-party vendors we're working with. Third-party vendors that we might be working with, or is there just references?
Third-party developers?
I think that's when Katie was working with an outside agency to upgrade our website. And I don't think we are currently in a contract with somebody, right?
We're not.
Okay.
It says maintained or offered by third-party vendors, and down below third-party developers. I was just trying to understand that statement. And,
Yeah, there's,
I mean, why aren't we pretty much doing everything in-house?
certain things we need to use a third-party vendor just because there's some technical issues where we don't have technical site staff that do that, but it's on a rare occasion right now, and Adele is doing a fantastic job. She's been going in and revising our website right now. She has a lot of skills.
Excellent.
I would agree.
Good young talent.
So this is a first reading on it, but it's not a new policy, so we'll, it'll be in the consent agenda, and then we'll have a second reading next month, and we would pass it again, so.
There's no date requirement, we got it required. Just annually.
Just annually. Yeah. Okay, excellent. So we do not have any other policies for second reading, and then we were going to have a discussion on calendar for policy reviews, but that's going to be held off. And did you want to speak towards that, Anthony?
No, we just need, at this time, just some additional time to, after coming back from break and making sure that we connect to really map out some of the policies that we would like to move forward. So I just would like to request additional time to connect with department leads.
Okay.
Can I just add? There's a few, and I think Chair Lothrop talked about it at our last meeting, that there's certain sections of the policy that align. Our facilities team looked at the sites and buildings, which is the 800 series in the new upper policy, and it turns out that we only have one of the 5 recommended MSBA policies active right now, but we briefly looked at the other 4, and we'd love to bring those forward soon. They're very straightforward, they don't need a lot, they've already been vetted by MSBA attorneys, and the language is very appropriate, so we'd want to work with the policy committee to say that we'd like to just get those rolling soon. So we'd love to be a part of it. And there's only 5. So some of the other policies have many.
Yeah.
The sites and buildings is actually quite small. So
And would you hope to bring them as a group?
Yep.
So we can, okay, I think that's
Yep,
great. if
we'd
we
love
can.
that. So
Okay.
I would love to work with Anthony and get that scheduled, but we'd be happy to come as soon as April.
So I realize this was a brief meeting, but the goal is to make sure, as you're hearing, to identify several policies that we can bring at a time that are easy in scope to move forward. And so that is still our goal, and we're going to make sure. It sounds as if Kathy, like she said before, she's ready to have some of those move forward in April. So.
And I think we talked about last time that, a calendar, if you will, we all would recognize it as being draft in some ways, but at least kind of some guidance, so.
And I think we have some time tomorrow set
Yeah.
for meeting time for that opportunity. I do have one other piece under other as well, if I could bring it up. Just a reminder that last year, for last year's school year, we had a policy related to face coverings. And in August of last year, we because of the governor's order being over, we repealed that policy and put in place a board resolution related to face coverings, and so that is what we've used as guidance related to those decisions. And I know that as we're getting new guidance from CDC and things of that nature, just to refer back to the August school board meeting in which that resolution was put forward, in which it does give administration authorization to make changes if necessary based on developing events, which sometimes develop far more quickly and unexpectedly, even sometimes as we look at our computers in the afternoon sometimes. So I will do my best to keep the board very well informed as to any changes in decision making. Be informed.
Thank you.
Somewhat related.
Okay,
So,
that was August 2021.
Yes,
You referenced.
August 2021 at I think it was 17th or 18th of August, I think was the regular school board meeting in which that resolution was enacted.
Do you have a question?
no, I'm not.
Okay. Okay, so we will plan our April meeting to have some more policies to hopefully move forward with, and also a potential or a draft calendar. So, okay, great. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. The week of